Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, football struggled yet again in the late stages of a game.
And Hoosier Hysteria kicked off the 2022-2023 basketball season. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Kara Adams.
And I'm Ryan Costello.
Oh, another tough weekend for Indiana football.
Pull it off.
I know.
Going to the fourth, it was
Exactly.
like a 7-point game, but I don't know about you. I'm so ready for basketball.
I'm ready for basketball too, but let's start the show off with football. After starting the season 3-0, Indiana football has now fallen 3 times in a row. IUS TV sports reporter Samantha Condra has more on what went wrong in the most recent loss against number 4 Michigan.
For the third Saturday in a row, Indiana football adds another loss on their record.
Go against the 4th-ranked team in the country, and really good football team, and you get a chance to be able to be in the fourth quarter to go find a way to win, and we didn't finish. So that's highly disappointing.
Number 4 Michigan struggled against the Hoosiers early on, and a big reason was the defense.
But, I felt like our defense fought hard. They really do, and I think they got wore down in the fourth quarter.
The Hoosiers continue to struggle to play the full 60 minutes. In the last few games, the second half has been the biggest issue for the Hoosiers, specifically on offense. Today in the fourth quarter, the Hoosiers got outgained 163 to -12.
I mean, if you would ask any of us coming into the game, down 7 going in the fourth, I think everyone on the team would tell you that we're going to win that game. So we just got to be better in the fourth quarter, second half in general. So, yeah.
Quarterback Connor Bazelak talks about what needs to be done to get back into the win column.
It's definitely tough, but, in the same way we did it the first 3 games, we just got to find a way. No matter what's going on, no matter the circumstance.
The Hoosiers are back at home here at Memorial Stadium next week as they take on the Maryland Terrapins and try to get back into that win column. From Bloomington, Samantha Condra, IUS TV Sports.
The day after the loss, Tom Allen decided to fire offensive line coach Darren Hiller. With intern coach Rod Carey, the Hoosiers look to get back on track as they face Maryland at home this weekend.
Joining us now in studio to recap this year's Hoosier Hysteria is IUS TV sports basketball reporter Brianna Ballog. Brianna?
Thanks, Ryan. Hoosier Hysteria was this past weekend, and it did not disappoint. Thousands of Indiana basketball fans packed the lower bowl at Assembly Hall to get their first look at the new men's and women's Hoosier squads. Player introductions got the crowd going first. Jordan Geronimo broke out his dance moves, and Tamar Bates captured the show by bringing his daughter out into the stage. As for the basketball, Chloe Moore McNeil and Miller Kopp were dominant in their 3-point shooting contest victories. And Hoosier fans have definitely seen this before. Grace Berger made her first half-court shot attempt in the skills competition. But it was Race Thompson's half-court shot that led him, Mackenzie Holmes, and Colin Hartman to the skills competition victory. Indiana basketball fans have a lot to look forward to this season, with both squads likely to be ranked in the preseason top 25. Ryan, back to you.
Thanks, Brianna. The Indiana men's soccer team tied the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, their 4th tie of the season. The Hoosiers got off to a quick start, with sophomore Tommy Mahalik scoring in the first 3 minutes. Just 5 minutes later, Rutgers sophomore M.D. Myers tied the game. In the 15-minute mark, Daniel Muni put the Hoosiers on the board to give Indiana the lead once again. Yet Rutgers graduate midfielder Pablo Avale got the equalizer for the Scarlet Knights just 15 minutes later. The Hoosiers did leave Piscataway with a 1 point to add to their resume, but this tie felt more like a loss because they gave up 2 different lead changes. The Hoosiers are now 1-1 and 3 in Big Ten play, and they will look to get back on track with a win against the Penn State Nittany Lions tomorrow at 6:30 in Bloomington.
The women's soccer team met their 5th consecutive loss against number 10 Rutgers this past Sunday, 1-0. Indiana fell short once again thanks to a lone penalty kick from Kylie Daigle. Minus the Scarlet Knights goal, keeper Jamie Gerstenberg held strong to give the Hoosiers as much of a chance to come back as possible. Camille Ham led the offensive charge for the Hoosiers, claiming a yellow card for her aggressive nature to the ball. Indiana advances to 2, 5, and 6 on the season with no Big Ten Conference victories to show. The Hoosiers' next matchup is tomorrow at 7 p.m. against the Michigan State Spartans in East Lansing. Be sure to follow along with Kelsey Dennehy, Josie Broyles, and Ryan Costello for all IU women's soccer.
Coming up after the break, we crown this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And we have the latest in volleyball, tennis, and more. You're watching Hoosier Sports Night. Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is IUSTV sports reporter Alex Hynes. Alex?
Thanks, Kara and Ryan. This week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week is men's soccer central defender Daniel Mooney. In his second game back from injury, Mooney played the full 90 minutes against Notre Dame. The staunch defensive effort from Mooney helped the Hoosiers to a 1-0 win over the Irish for their third clean sheet of the season. On Sunday, Mooney scored the Hoosiers' second goal in a 2-2 draw at Rutgers. After winning the ball in midfield, the redshirt senior charged through the Rutgers back line before receiving a through ball from Samuel Sarver. Mooney then sidestepped the goalkeeper and slotted the ball into the empty net. The goal was his second of the season, with both coming since his return to the squad on October 2nd. Mooney now has 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 games against the Scarlet Knights. He's coming off a season in which he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. With his strong defensive presence and veteran leadership as Indiana's captain, there's no doubt that Mooney will play a large part in Indiana's final stretch of matches before tournament play. That's all for this week's Hoosier Highlight. Ryan, back to you.
The women's volleyball team went on the road to face the Iowa Hawkeyes for the second time this season as they look to sweep the series. The Hoosiers were defeated in a back-and-forth, action-packed affair by a score of 3-2. Maddie Saris and Gray Gosnell led the team with career highs in kills, 22 for Saris and 12 for Gosnell. The Hoosiers were up 2-1, but the Hawkeyes fought back to take the win in 5 sets. The loss drops the Hoosiers to a 2-4 record in conference play and a 3-match losing streak heading into their big rivalry matchup against Purdue. The face-off against the 9th-ranked Boilermakers will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Wilkinson Hall.
The women's field hockey team lost a tough one to number 2 Maryland last week. Sophomore Sofia Arabella Garcia scored the Hoosiers' lone goal off of a successful penalty corner in the 5-1 loss. Sophomore goalkeeper Arabella Leverage had 18 saves to set a new Indiana program record for most saves in a single game, besting Molly Polkerbeck's 17 saves against Ball State in 2002. With her performance, Leverage also surpassed her career high for most saves in a season, beating her total of 60 saves from last year. The team will travel to Ann Arbor tomorrow to take on Michigan, then head to East Lansing to take on Michigan State on Sunday.
The men's golf team finished 6th overall in the Purdue Fall Invitational hosted in West Lafayette this past Monday and Tuesday. The highest placing Hoosier was 5th-year senior Mitch Davis, who secured a 217-stroke total, earning himself a top 10 finish. In the final 18 holes, Davis played 15 holes at par or better. All 3 of Indiana's individuals tied for the impressive 6th-place ranking, putting up a score of 215. The Hoosiers are set to compete in the Qual Valley Collegiate Invitational this coming Sunday and Monday in Vero Beach, Florida. Make sure to follow along with reporters Kennedy Recklaw, Kelsey Dennehy, and Hank Joseph for all men's golf news.
Last week, the men's tennis team competed in the ITA All-American Championship. In singles, fan favorite Patrick Fletchell lost in the first round in straight sets to Julio Perego of Texas A&M, with both sets being 4-6. Ilya Tiraspolsky battled Terrence Doss into a third set, but ended up losing in 3 sets. Michael Andre lost to Alessio Basile of Oklahoma State University in 3 sets as well. None of the men will continue into the second round of the ITA All-American Championship. The men's tennis team will compete in the ITA Ohio Valley Regional Championship in Louisville, Kentucky, starting today.
Redshirt junior Laura Schneider traveled to Cary, North Carolina to represent the women's tennis team in the ITA All-American Championships. In her pre-qualifying singles round matchup, she lost a tough three-setter to Catherine Dong of Illinois, 6-4, 4-6, and 6-1. In the consolation round, she was defeated by Spee Bennett of Florida, 6-1 and 7-6. The women's tennis team will travel to Knoxville, Tennessee next week to compete in the ITA Regional Championship.
And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up on all things IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Ryan Costello.
And I'm Kara Adams. We'll see you next week.